From the Phantom Studio, somewhere south of Victoria Island, this is NQL. Not quite legal, not quite live, but definitely real. And I am your host, David Miller, bringing you the news from music lovers on Facebook. And that news is a playlist has been selected, and we'll post at noon today. And that playlist is Melancholy Melodies. I'd like to say a little bit about why I chose that. I've been hearing, I know some folks for the last year or two have been having a little bit of issues with sadness, depression, going through some rough times. When it comes to sadness and depression and being down and blues and so on, a lot of times you hear from people, just snap out of it, get normal, be happy. And I disagree with that. I don't think that you can't just snap out of it. Anyone who's been in deep depression understands that. You can't just snap out of it. And as a matter of fact, telling someone to just snap out of it, at least in my case, tended to strengthen my depression more. I tended to be almost defiant and go ahead and stay in the depression a little more, maybe even wallow it a little bit, just to defy those who tell me to snap out of it. My thought is, when you're sad, you're depressed, there's a reason for it, and I think you should. I think rather than trying to just snap out of it, I think you should embrace it. Try to understand it, and not wallow in it, but embrace your sadness and explore it. Understand it. Look into the depths of it, and find and look at the sources, and kind of work your way through this. Because you can work your way through. I have done that myself, and worked my way through. One of the ways I've done that was by creating playlists of sad songs, and so I present for your approval the current playlist that will be appearing at noon. Melancholy Melodies. That particular playlist, besides the idea of being just sad songs, the original inspiration was I was listening to Hearts one day, and the one song, the song combo actually, Cry to Me, followed by segueing into Go On Cry, came on. And I thought, what if I were to split those two and put Cry to Me at the beginning of the playlist, and at the very end put Go On Cry, and then pack in between a whole lot of really sad songs. So that's what I did, and that's what I did with this playlist. And this is for you who are sad and depressed, and you can listen to it. And it's not to encourage you to suicide or anything like that. I don't think there's even anything about suicide in this playlist, but give you a chance to kind of explore your sadness and embrace it. If you need to cry, go on, cry. There's no shame in crying. There are times it has been scientifically proven. I can't tell you the sources where I get this from, but it's been scientifically proven that crying periodically is healthy for you. It cleans out your tear ducts. It washes your tear ducts. It washes your eyes, and and so crying is actually good for you. It releases endorphins. I tend to feel really exhausted after a good cry, but I feel much better a little further down the road after crying. And I'm a little more prepared to deal with the sadness and to explore it. So if you feel a need to cry, I understand not wanting to cry publicly. I've never done that myself. But when you have a quiet moment of privacy, go ahead, let it out, and then you can begin to work through the sadness and understand the sadness, understand what's driving it, embrace it. So there you have it. This week's playlist, Melancholy Melodies. Have a good life, and I will see you in the future.